For today, in the name of freedom, we take the battle to them.
Ladies and gentlemen, Avengers Doomsday is currently slated to release in December of 2026, and honestly, they were absolutely insane for thinking they were going to make that May release date. They are so dumb. And while we haven't gotten the second lot of cast updates yet, the first lot really got everyone talking because obviously you have a lot, and I mean a lot of characters here. You have, of course, the Fantastic Four, you have the Thunderbolts, you have the main Avengers, you have the OG X-Men, of course, and you have Gambit, who is just like the anomaly because he's from Deadpool and Wolverine and not really from any specific universe, at least as of right now. But we genuinely have to try and figure out what is going on with this movie because there's a lot of theories going on out there, and honestly, I have basically formed like the bare basic idea of what could be going on in Avengers Doomsday. So basically, of course, the main thing that has gotten a lot of people talking was a while back when the actor for Nightcrawler, Alan Cumming, said that, he's talking about doing like the fight scenes and stuff. And he just sort of, as a throwaway thing, said, they just say, oh yeah, punch Pedro Pascal in the face. Now, this very well could have been a joke. I feel like it probably was a joke, but people just got so excited over it and took it seriously. But what if this was serious? That would, of course, mean that the Fantastic Four from this new movie, First Steps, will be in the X-Men universe. I mean, it's pretty obvious that it's not going to be the other way around. Like, why would the X-Men go to the Fantastic Four universe? So, basically, those two are obviously going to be interacting. Those two teams, the Fantastic Four and the OG X-Men. But what about the ship in Thunderbolts? Now, many people have theorized that this is not the Fantastic Four. Now, I feel like it would be a very, very strange and surprising twist if that wasn't the Fantastic Four, because, the whole point was, oh my god, it's the Fantastic Four ship. But what if it is Doctor Doom? I think it might be, because it would only make sense for RDJ's Doctor Doom to be from that universe, because you have to connect Doctor Doom to the Fantastic Four in some way. Even if you don't have them interact, you can at least have them be from the same universe. So it would only make sense for Robert Downey Jr.'s Doctor Doom to be from the Fantastic Four universe, and then he ends up in the main MCU. And that is ultimately how Doomsday will begin. Probably not the opening scene, but the first time that we see the new Avengers, it will be them going to this ship. And of course, all of us will be going, oh, wow, it's the Fantastic Four, let's see them. And then Doctor Doom walks out. And could you imagine if he just wipes out all of the Thunderbolts? Imagine he just walks out. They're like, who are you? And he just like does a swipe and just kills them all in one hit. That would be so cool. I mean, it would be horrible because Thunderbolts was an amazing movie and I love those characters. But could you imagine if he just wipes them all out like that? But honestly, that is probably the main possibility, because there's that. Then there's going to be a separate storyline with the Fantastic Four and the X-Men. Because they would not have announced the Fantastic Four, fair enough, but they wouldn't have announced the X-Men, I feel, if they didn't play a fairly large role in the movie. Now, I wouldn't say they have the biggest roles, but, it's not going to be like cameos. I feel like they wouldn't have announced the cast if they were just cameos. So, my best guess is that they are going to have an Infinity War situation where there's going to be a lot of storylines that we are going to be following. With Infinity War, we had the main Earth storyline, we had the space story, we had Thanos' story, all these different things that were going on. And of course, they all eventually converge. And that is ultimately what's probably going to be happening in Avengers Doomsday, is most of the movie, probably 90% of it, honestly, is going to be the Fantastic Four in the X-Men universe, and then basically trying to figure out what the fuck's happening. Why are we here? Or, well, not why are we here, but what is actually happening right now? So that's going to be the one story. And then obviously we are going to have the main Doctor Doom story, because I don't really know how they are going to keep the Avengers part separate from the Doctor Doom part, because Doctor Doom's goal isn't really like Thanos's, where, you know, you can go to all these different planets and stuff like that. Doctor Doom is just going to do whatever the hell he wants on Earth, honestly. He's a badass, man. I don't feel like they're going to be able to keep it separated like how they were in Infinity War. You know, with Infinity War, this whole story with Cap and Nat and Black Panther, all of this was separate from Thanos until the end of the movie. I feel like that's ultimately what it's going to be with the X-Men. But with the main Avengers, I just don't know how you're going to keep them separated from whatever Doctor Doom is doing. But yeah, I'm very excited for this movie. As much as I would love them to keep that release date, a delay is inevitable. And honestly, it would just do the movie better. I think this is the only movie in my life where I was actually so happy that it got delayed. And I genuinely can't believe anyone who says that they're upset about the original delay. Because if you thought that the movie coming out in May was going to be great, you are insane. It would have to be an amazing script. And on top of that, the CGI, which is the main issue here, would be terrible. We cannot have an Avengers movie with bad CGI. Please. Miss Marvel, sure, no one gives a shit about that. You can have the crap CGI be in there. But the Avengers movies, you cannot mess this up. And the only thing that I am hoping for with this delay is, obviously, a lot of us, myself included, theorize with the Avengers Secret Wars logo that, you know, it doesn't have the complete circle around the A, much like Infinity War. And Infinity War was the only movie which was like a part 1. So most of us thought that Secret Wars was going to be split into 2 movies, and honestly, it realistically should have been. But that's what I thought they were going to do. I thought they were going to split up Secret Wars, have part 1 release in 2027, and then part 2 in 2028. And hopefully, Doomsday gets delayed at least a month, and they push Secret Wars to 2028. The reason why I'm saying that is because Secret Wars is going to be the end of this main MCU. This is the last of the MCU that we know. So I just feel like, I'm a person who loves bringing things full circle. I feel like you just have to have the MCU end 20 years after it began. Because as much as I'm so happy that Spider-Man No Way Home came out at the time it did, if it had released 1 month later, it would have been 20 years since the first Spider-Man movie. And I just hope that they do that for Secret Wars. Have it released in 2028, so it will be 20 years after the original Iron Man. But anyway, that's enough waffling. I'm sorry. Just please let me know what you guys think will be going down in this movie, because, of course, there's a lot of characters here. I mean, there were like 27 people that were revealed with the original lot of chairs, and I just hope they'll be able to pull it off. I really, really do. So please let me know your thoughts on everything down in the comment section below. And if you did enjoy this video, then please leave a like, subscribe, and goodbye.